All right, it's 5 o'clock on AT&T, so we're gonna begin our coastal zone management and restoration advisory meeting for Tuesday, June 3rd. We're gonna do an invocation and pledge allegiance. Please rise. Lord, we pray that you guide us in keeping the right decisions for our community and look over the safety with the projects we got involved. Amen.
Amen.
Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Tony Inhill. Ernie Babin.
Here.
Matt Benoit.
Here.
Jeff W. Merlin Lered.
Here.
Jan Rogers.
Here.
Barry Studier.
Here.
Marvin Stewart.
Here.
Nikki Thomas.
Here.
You have a forum.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from May 6th?
Second.
Moved by Barry, second by Jan. Any discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, permit applications, Mr. Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have some local concerns. The first, AT&T Mobility wants to put a telecommunications facility east of Highway 659 and east of the airport. And I've already dropped what they want to do off to the airport. It's not in conflict with any of the runways as best we can tell, but I still wanted them in on that conversation. We haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm assuming everything is okay. But this tower is going to be about 100, a little over 100 feet tall. Now, it's a small area of impact in a fresh marsh, and a WVA has been done and submitted to OCM. There will be a small amount of mitigation involved on this site. And this is where it's located up top of the screen. There is a little, you can see there's a little area up in there. It's not, you can see you can see where it is. It's up there, and so it's accessible by this road that's there right now. So we're waiting for the, I think that little site, well, it's kind of hard to see, but anyway,
Where is that?
this is the site. It's
By South Terrebonne.
it's north of that.
Yeah, just north of South
north of
Terrebonne.
South Terrebonne. You know the Robert Neal property? Okay, it's
That new gravel road going in the back?
Yeah.
yeah.
Sea level?
Well,
No.
not by Mr.
No,
Sugarman's house.
no, not that one. No,
Champlain's
it's
house, you
another
mean?
one.
Yeah, Champagne.
Um,
Before that, they got another one going to the back before you get there, coming
Yeah.
from down the bay.
So anyway, it's a small area of impact. There will be some mitigation involved. As I said, the WVA has been completed and submitted to OCM, and as soon as we hear back from them, I'll send out the mitigation letter to AT&T Mobility, let them know how much. My suspicion is that it's going to be the in lieu fee for this because of the small area of impact. And the Corps should be okay with that, but we'll have to walk through that. So the recommendation is we're just going to put this on hold until we hear back from OCM with the WVA, the results of that, and the mitigation letter is sent to AT&T Mobility. So that's all we can do right now.
Do we need a motion to hold it?
Yeah, I guess you can do that. Motion to hold.
Motion by Jan. Second by Mickey. Any discussion besides Mr. Black?
All right, thank you, Mr.
Motion to
Chairman.
hold.
The next one, at the North Treatment Plant, this is a TPCG project. The area around there's a pond in the back that they use to treat sewage. It may be the tertiary treatment pond. The levee is beginning to fail in places, and so what they wanted to do is just around that levee, without getting into the wetland area, just on the upland area, is beef it up a little bit. So we're recommending on this, this is what it looks like, it's that area in yellow. We're recommending, that's some of the, recommending a local coastal use permit for this. Where there's really no impacts on this at all.
You talking about this back of the dump?
Do what?
No, no,
It's
this
the
is,
water plant in Shreveport.
Or
No,
Shreveport?
Shreveport, North
Shreveport.
Treatment
Oh,
Plant,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
north, yeah.
I said waste facility.
do we have a motion to,
I'll move.
permit?
I'll
Motion by
move.
Barry,
Second.
second by Jan. Any discussion? All in favor?
That's a big ball.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next one is Racetrack Incorporated wants to put a fueling station and convenience store on the northwest corner of West Side Boulevard Extension and ML King. It's a 2.25 acre site that was wooded. Half of it has been cleared, but not by Racetrack, by the previous owner. So I'm gonna have to do a little research in the assessor's office to find out who owns the rest of that because they've got some liability for mitigation. Racetrack understands it's got some mitigation for the whole 2.25 acre tract. And a WVA has been done on that site. It's been sent to OCM. I'm just waiting to hear back on how much mitigation, which could be substantial. But apparently Racetrack knows that and they're willing to pay. Now, this picture right here is not, that's a relatively old picture because most of that site and half of Racetrack site has been cleared. That's kind of like what it looks
That's a
like
newer
today.
picture there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like today.
It's directly across the street from the
Motorcycle place.
motorcycle place?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I
yeah.
thought it was on the opposite corner.
No, it's, so I'm gonna check into the rest of that site and send them a little letter too.
So we need to,
So we're gonna put, this is what they wanna do. It looks like the entrance is gonna be, they'll have two entrances, one off of ML King and another one off of West Side. Canopy of the fuel pumps. So, standard Racetrack, you've seen them all over the place. I guess it was only a matter of time before we get one here in Houma. Recommendation is to put this on hold until we hear back from OCM and get the mitigation letter sent to Racetrack, and of course, they'll have to pay the mitigation before they get the permit.
motion to put on hold. Motion by Marilyn, second by Mickey. Any discussion?
And so what is the mitigation cost for stuff like that? Ballpark.
An acre bottomland hardwood could be 60,000.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be, a heavy hit, but they know it.
Yep.
They, in their application, they indicated that they are aware that they're gonna have to pay some mitigation and they wanna pay it for all of their 2.25 acre site.
Get it out of the way and done.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like this is the only area that would really fit their design. The only parcel.
Yeah, they,
in the
they,
area.
they look for basically a square
Mhm.
site in order to put their convenience store and
You want-
fueling station.
And a corner makes it.
And a corner, yeah,
Corner makes it
on a
smaller.
corner, yeah.
And can you discuss what the stormwater might be,
When-
issues might be?
When they apply for a coastal impact certificate, that application gets circulated to all relevant parish departments, including Public Works and Engineering. And if there is a requirement for that, then that is gonna be made a condition of the coastal impact certificate.
They'll have to have the drainage study.
And they may already have one. I just, they didn't submit it to us, but
Yeah, because I mean, basically you're going from a water sink, a bottom
Yeah.
forest to cement.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna be the total square feet of that cement.
mhm.
there'll be some runoff, yeah.
Mhm.
So we have a Any more discussion? All in favor? Putting on hold? Any opposed? Motion carry.
All right, the next one is, they want to, Mr. and Mrs. Delottinger want to build a new single-family home at this address, 150 Nottingham Trail in Homa. The area is upland agriculture. We didn't need to put this on public notice. It's kind of hard to tell where this is from here, but this is what they want to do. It's in that West Manchester subdivision, addendum number 3. Valhai Boulevard and Nottingham Trail. That's on the way to up to
Where's Ellen?
Savan Road. Yeah. So again, that area does not need. So our recommendation is no direct or significant impact for this.
Motion by Mickey,
Second.
second by Jan. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
All right, this next one, Mr. Raymond Lillerett's building a home site on 150, 5050 and 5054 Highway Chauvin, Highway 56 in Chauvin. It's upland agriculture. He's showing a pond on his property, and he's using that pond for fill to build up his home site. And he's got some elevating to do right there. And he's actually already started with it, so. I think the recommendation here on this one is no direct or significant impact.
Okay, Mark, that, that stuff that we was talking about a while back about dirt pits and all, that's just for commercial? How we talked about,
Well, no, the ponds are included in that new ordinance on dirt pits, but there's a limitation on ponds. And most of those ponds, it's either a decorative purpose, in their house, or they're using the dirt from that pond to build up their home site.
right,
They're not selling it.
And this is a smaller, I think we had
Yeah.
a size limit.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you get into selling dirt, then you're crossing that line in the
Yeah.
borrow pit, and that's
I
a
mean-
different permit and more money,
'cause,
the fee.
he called and talked to him about it, me and him, he and I are real good friends, right?
Okay.
And, I think he's got a couple of feet to go.
Yeah, he's got to come up, my guess, from ground level, 7 feet, maybe 8 feet. He got a ways to go.
You got about 6 right now.
Okay.
You got a good
Yeah.
stack. I don't know where you're gonna get the rest at, cause it's,
That's a deep pond now.
All right, do we have a motion to
the amount
NDSI?
bigger than the,
Yes. NDSI.
Motion by Mickey,
Second.
second by Jan. Any more discussion? All in favor?
alright.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have no state concerns to deal with and no consistency determination, just go-arounds. That's all I have
Thank you.
on that.
The subcommittee did not meet in May, and next meeting, probably whenever something arises, we'll call a meeting in ahead of time and let the public know and proceed with that. Okay, subcommittee, Jeff's not here to get that report, but discussion on restoration projects.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2 things. I want to thank all of you for volunteering for this committee. You do a great job. It makes my job a lot easier. I appreciate that. And also, for the record, I want to notice that, announce that Vicky was the employee of the month, so.
Speak.
All right.
Work hard.
The project updates on the first page, the QIPRA task force has initiated the deauthorization process for TE 117, which is the Island Road Marsh Creation and Nourishment Project. Deauthorization is a process. They just don't do it instantaneously. It's got to be, the public has got to be involved in it. There'll be a comment period, and they've got to respond to those comments. So it may take a few more months before that is actually deauthorized, assuming that it will. On 1C, TE 156, Bayrockracy Marsh Creation and Ridge Restoration. That got approved for construction, and the construction bid solicitation is expected in the summer of 2026. And TE 170, that's the south shore of Lake Michon on Bayou Large. It's marsh creation and ridge restoration. There were some land rights issues with that, but I'm told that those are expected to be resolved soon, and construction bid solicitation in January of 2026. West Bell Headland project, it's in Lafourche, but bid solicitation expected first quarter of 2026. And this is a FEMA-funded project because West Bell, part of that was really destroyed by Hurricane Zeta. So FEMA's going to pick up the tab. And then TE 171, the Port Fourchon marsh creation, although the permitting is ongoing for that, it's going to be resolved, and the construction bid solicitation first quarter of 2026. So those are projects that are good for Terrebonne. On page 2, to see the working with Ducks Unlimited, the pre-application was submitted on May 6th for a National Coastal Resiliency Fund grant from NIFWIP for engineering, design, and permitting for the Karen Crow Bayou Diversion Project. We're keeping our fingers crossed. If that pre-application is viewed favorably, we'll be invited to submit a full application for that. On the FY 25 parish matching grant application from CPRA, we were awarded that. We're just currently awaiting the intergovernmental agreement from CPRA and to get that done. Administration also asked me to look into two things that we may be able to fund with Restore dollars. One is an improved boat launch and kayak launch on the existing boat launch Old Spanish Trail in Gibson. I think that's eligible for Restore. It should not be very expensive to do that. Also, the construction and deployment around the parish of about 75 to 100 wood duck boxes. Again, there's a guy in Eunice who builds those things turnkey for $65 each. That includes materials, which ain't bad. So we're looking into that, and that would be a very inexpensive Restore Act grant application. We're just looking for places to put them. On page 3, the QIPRA work groups are currently evaluating the 10 PPL 35 projects, including one in our parish, the West Ile de Jean Charles Open Marsh Creation Project, which was one of the 10. Those field investigations are underway, which includes site visits to collect environmental and preliminary design data. The coastal impact certificates for the month of May, we had a total of 5 permits, collected 300. 2 of them were government permits, so we've only added $300 to our bottom line. Here it says $24,003. I'm starting to meet with some of the federal agencies to talk about potentially where they can propose coastal restoration projects in Terrebonne Parish. We'll be meeting this month with EPA and some people from Fence-to-Maker regarding coastal issues. So I'm going to find out, check out the developments at Coco Marina, and I'm going to check out the ownership at Westside Boulevard and Martin Luther King for potential mitigation issues. And I think this was in your packet, the key performance indicators, which summarizes the permits and fees received through May. So February and March were good months compared to May, but
Yeah, but right now I have like what, almost $20,000 that's just hadn't come in yet. That's
Okay.
what I reached out for, so.
So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman, unless there's some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Any questions for Mr. Black? All right, next on the agenda is public comment. Ms. Connie, you have any comment?
I just have a question. Are there any plans to finish rocking the northern coast of Lake Boudreaux, or is that a done deal? I know at one time they started, Louisiana Land had put some rocks out there for a while. But and they got some HESCO baskets that are buried out there right now. But there's nothing to stop the erosion between Locaya and Grand Kaya. So is there any protection for the landowners coming?
I know of no project. That is coming out of CPRA to do that. There was something out there got a long time ago that got deauthorized. I'm not sure why. So that may be an area that we can look into for some shoreline protection. If it's in the coastal master plan.
I think it would be worthwhile.
Oh, we got a lot of worthwhile projects.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of those.
A lot of those, exactly. But the land loss between Grand Kaya and Little Kaya is astronomical.
You been by Madison Bay lately?
Mm.
No.
Yeah.
I don't wanna cry.
Well,
Yeah.
you have anything else, Ms. Connie?
So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Any committee member comments? Mickey?
I just hate to see us lose a project, so, I don't want it to go out quietly, but, we're gonna lose, T 117 apparently. And it's, unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a combination of factors, but let me say this. A lot of the federal partners are currently trying to find an alignment for the land bridge between La Rose and Ile de Jean Charles. They're gonna use the lessons learned from 117 to try to incorporate that. Now, there's no guarantees they're gonna find an alignment because the soil, the depth of the water, kind of like not good in terms of finding an area where you can do marsh creation. So, but they're looking at it. And if something comes out of it, we won't have any proposals until maybe PPL 37 or 38, which would be a couple of years from now.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, Ms. Connie, talk about what you was talking about earlier. Apache was supposed to have some kind of terrace project
Right,
come back of your house somewhere,
right.
cutting across all the way, across the Shell Canal and going up on Apache property.
Right.
But we ain't heard no more since. I got the paperwork in
Yeah,
my
I know
cabinet at the
somebody-
camp, but I ain't heard that since.
Right, I know somebody was working for Apache, and he told me, he says, Connie, he said, we were doing things out there, but then he said it stopped, and he said, I don't know why.
I don't know if they're still working on it or what.
Yeah.
So.
That's it, ran out of money.
Might be money.
It's
Oh.
money.
It's always
money.
Yeah, always.
All right, thank you, Barry.
Who wants to pay?
Anybody else?
Yeah.
All right, next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, July 8th. It would have fell on July 4th, but with the holiday, we moved it up to July 8th. Due to the 4th holiday, the meeting's at 5 p.m. in this Dearborn Parish Council meeting room right here. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by
Move.
Mickey, second by Barry. Meeting adjourned.